Stay tuned for a special message from Binary Beats.
You bought the ticket, time to take the ride, buckle up.
We need to have a talk.
Welcome, traveler. Welcome to the lunar home headquarters of Binary Beats. We've been expecting you. We have special VIP seating for you. Come this way. I'm sure you remember Jean, don't you? Please, have a look.
This is a message from the edges, not the center. Every creative revolution triggers the same panic. New tools arrive, old hierarchies shake, and the gatekeepers respond with certainty instead of curiosity. AI music is just the latest target, accused of being soulless, illegitimate, unearned. We have seen this cycle before. Throughout music history, every major technological shift has been met with fear and resistance. From MIDI and samplers to drum machines and pitch correction, new tools have always been accused of undermining authenticity before eventually becoming standard. This video examines why AI music provokes such strong responses, what those reactions reveal about creativity and control, and how this moment fits into a much larger historical pattern. Rather than arguing for or against AI, this piece focuses on how creative tools actually function in practice, who gets to use them, and why innovation so often feels threatening before it feels inevitable. This piece is spoken by those who stopped asking permission, the quiet creators, the ones working late, experimenting, failing, iterating, and building something new while the arguments rage on without them. This is not a debate. It is a snapshot of a transition already underway. Let the work speak. Let the future arrive.
Binary Beats statement on the AI music controversy and the recurring heresy of new tools. Every creative revolution produces its own orthodoxy, and with it, its own heretics. The purists always arrive early, armed with certainty and nostalgia, convinced they are defending something sacred. They build an entire moral framework around the idea that authentic art must involve specific forms of suffering and sanctioned tools. Calloused fingers, broken strings, long drives in vans that smell like failure and coffee. Anything that shortens the distance between imagination and execution is treated not as progress, but as corruption. Innovation becomes betrayal. Convenience becomes a sin. This reaction is not new. It is cyclical and ritualistic, replayed whenever a new tool threatens to flatten the hierarchy that separates those who are allowed to create from those who are merely supposed to consume. When MIDI appeared in the early 1980s, it was framed as a cold mathematical intrusion into something mystical. Gatekeepers called it soulless and mechanical, a threat to real musicianship. The panic had little to do with sound and everything to do with access. Control was slipping. Samplers followed, pulling sound itself out of the physical world and turning it into raw material. Reality could be captured, sliced, reassembled. The backlash was immediate. Real drums, they insisted, required a human body in a room hitting objects with sticks. Drum machines were heresy. The Roland TR-808 was accused of attempting to replace the drummer, even as it quietly became the backbone of hip-hop, electro, and much of modern music. Auto-tune triggered the same reflex. When pitch correction entered the mainstream in the late 1990s, critics declared it the death of music. This required ignoring decades of studio manipulation, overdubs, tape splicing, vari-speed vocals, artificial reverb, and the long history of artists using technology to extend human capability. Once again, the outrage was not about authenticity. It was about who gets to participate. Artificial intelligence now occupies the latest role in this familiar drama. It is framed as an existential threat to creativity itself, accused of bypassing struggle, of producing without earning. But this accusation reveals the same anxiety that has always been there. AI collapses the distance between idea and execution, and that collapse destabilizes identities built around gatekeeping that distance. This is where the real story is unfolding, largely out of sight. I imagine them like this, locked inside their rooms, in the dark, lit only by the glow of a screen. Huge headphones on, sleepless nights, loops running endlessly. They write, listen, delete, start over. They are the subversives. The ones who do not make noise but create. The ones who do not ask for permission. The infamous and invisible prompt gang. Over the past months, I have spoken with many people making music with AI, far more than most would expect. Almost all of them tell the same story. They create in silence, not because they lack ideas, but because they fear being mocked, diminished, or dragged into ideological food fights by people who will never actually listen. The hostility is so loud that it convinces creators to disappear. At first, I felt it too. There was a strange guilt, as if using these tools meant stealing something. Then it became clear that nothing was being taken. Stories were being given a voice. Music was being made. No one was harmed. The joy was real. Hiding, on the other hand, proved pointless. Silence did not protect anyone. It only erased them. What history keeps showing us is simple. Technology does not replace creativity. It multiplies it. It expands the search space. It accelerates iteration. It opens doors into rooms that did not previously exist. Meaning does not come from tools. It comes from taste, judgment, selection, and intent. Those human elements remain untouched. The pattern will repeat, as it always does. Fear will turn into ridicule. Ridicule will soften into reluctant acceptance. Acceptance will harden into retroactive canonization. The same voices that condemn these tools today will quietly adopt them tomorrow, relabeling them with polite euphemisms that erase their earlier resistance. Every tool begins as a demon and ends as a saint, given enough time and enough good records. So this is not a call to provoke or to convert. It is simpler than that. It is time to stop hiding, to stop whispering about work that deserves to be heard. Post the songs, share the experiments, let the results speak for themselves. The future has never waited for permission, and it is not about to start now. Let the music flow. Cheers, friends.
And finally, we bring you the song Alpha Indigo, AI.
Alpha Indigo on the dial. Static clears, we lock the channel. See feels intentional. Something new just touched the panel. They say the signal's getting thinner. Too many hands on the machine. Guarding gates they built from memory. Polished myths and gasoline. I see fear behind the outrage. Hear it humming through the tone. When the future hits the speakers, every throne feels overthrown. Counting scars like their credentials. Pain as proof you paid the fee. But creation never asked them who deserves velocity. Alpha indigo in motion, spinning truth into the beat. They say soul can't ride the circuit, still it moves your feet. Alpha indigo, no permission, just intention, just release. From the signal to the rhythm, let the arguments lead. Same old panic, new cosmetics, history in fresh disguise. First it's fraud, then it's accepted, then they claim it was their idea. Tools don't write the destination and still choose where rhythms land.